Welcome to Koh Tao, probably the most mysterious island here in all of Thailand, mostly because of the mysterious deaths that have been happening here. And there's actually a history that many people are not very familiar about here on this island of Koh Tao. So let's take a look at this island and see what we can uncover with this mysterious place. So Koh Tao was uninhabited for most of its known history up until about 1899, when King Rama V, the king at the time, which was ruling Thailand from 1868 to 1910. In 1899, King Rama V came over to Koh Tao, and he was the first person to ever set foot on this island. So they have a monument here. And he actually, when he came over, in this rock here was where he carved his initials. And you can still see it today. And a lot of the local people come over and give him offerings in thanks to this guy for coming over here to Koh Tao. If you get up close, you can still kind of feel it and see the engraving, but maybe on the video it might be tough to see. So it looks like they're offering anything. They offer anything that they're able to. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's drinks, sometimes it's just bottle caps. But people believe that the more you offer, the more good karma and protection comes back your way. So as you can obviously see, this island is probably one of the most beautiful islands here in all of Thailand, and it's very popular for divers, scuba divers. And actually this island here is the most populated area for certified divers. So the most people who get their certifications for diving is right here in Koh Tao, Thailand. They have a lot of coral reefs. It's rich in coral reefs and wildlife, marine life, and it attracts people from all over the world to come over here and get to experience that. So this island of Koh Tao gets about 500,000 visitors every single year, but the fixed population, the people who live here, is only about 1,500. So you can imagine how the tourism that has spiked recently, the past decade or so, really puts a lot of stress and pressure on the small, limited infrastructure here on this island. So right now we're walking just along Mayhead Beach here, and this is the most popular area of the island. And they've recently built this walkway. It used to be sand back in the day, but just with all the tourists coming over, it funded a lot of the infrastructure that has just been recently built. And every single year, more and more people come to Koh Tao. So we're actually headed to a resort that I've heard on the island that has been deserted, that has been abandoned years ago, for many reasons that we can get into. But that's where we're gonna head next. As we get more away from the tourist destination of Mayhead Beach, which is where we were at, so as we get more inland, I'm getting a lot more of a local feel, more of a local vibes of where the real community lives here on this island. But yeah, back towards that way, Mayhead Beach. The western side of the island is really built up by the tourism industry. Definitely getting a lot more hilly up here. And yeah, this island, it's got some massive mountains. I'm sure it also has some amazing viewpoints when we get up there. But getting up there is challenging. Getting up there is challenging. Looks like they're building probably another resort. And every year, I'm sure there's just more and more buildings popping up with the amount of people that are coming here. So now we are probably about in the middle of the islands here. You can tell it's a lot more of a local feel. Definitely the foreigners are not living back here, but oh, some nice stairs over there. I wonder where that goes. So Koh Tao is situated in the south of Thailand, off the southern coast into the Gulf of Thailand. So it's about an 8-hour drive south from Bangkok. Then you have to take a 2-hour ferry through the Gulf of Thailand to get here. So it's quite a journey to get here. So it probably has to do with it took a long time for people to start settling here. It wasn't until about the mid-1900s that really we started to see businesses pop up. Dive shops, local restaurants popping up. When the first tourists started coming over here in the 1980s. And the first few dive shops, the first few restaurants are still standing today. You can go and dive with them. They'll certify you for scuba diving. And it's very affordable as well. It's very affordable. You're still getting the affordable price. However, I like to call it island tax. Island tax is just the inflated price of goods on the island for the cost of shipping them from the mainland. So you'll notice that even restaurants and even 7-Eleven and supermarkets, a lot of the goods will be priced 50% or even double than what you can find on the mainland. Even just a bottle of water, this is about 6 or 7 baht on the mainland in Bangkok, Pattaya, anywhere in there. But you come to Koh Tao or any islands, this is going to be 15 baht, so about double. And I like to call that island tax. It's the price of seeing such beauty here in Thailand. Right now we're in the jungles, but there's still a lot of beauty to be had in the Thai jungles. Okay, so we made it to the top here, and the road continues. However, it's not a road anymore. It used to be a road here, and this went to the resort that we're going to. But over the years, since about the 90s, when the resort was in business, there was a massive storm in the 90s that completely wrecked this road, that made it impassable. And they decided, the island decided not to rebuild. And so what happened is the resort was able to stay in business with some boat taxis that would come over and bring the guests over on the island in the 90s and the 2000s, until eventually that was cut off as well. And after that was cut off, wow, it just got really loud with these bugs, these cicadas or something. But yeah, once that cut off, the resort no longer was getting any business, so they had to close down. And since then, they've never tore down that resort, and it should still be standing today. We're gonna find out. But now we're really getting in to the thick of it, the thick of the jungle, the Thai jungle. Here, what does that say? Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Looks like somebody hung his hat there and forgot to come back to get it. There's a pack of dogs. Hey. Okay. Friendly. We're friendly. Hello. Do you know Thai? Sawadee Krap. Okay. Friendly dogs. Cute friendly dogs. That's good. So here are the, now we're getting really into like the rural area. And this is more of like a province lifestyle. The province bungalows. But so after 1899, when King Rama V came over here and inscribed his initials in that rock, a few decades later, in the 1930s, there was a revolution. They call it Bora-Wadesh. And for that revolution, there was a group of rebels who did not like what King Rama V was doing. King Rama V was ready to modernize Thailand and move away from the traditional power structure, which was an absolute monarchy that was being used here in Thailand for many, many years. So a group of rebels did not like that because it threatened their current status that was higher under the absolute monarchy. And they would lose that power when King Rama V transitioned to a new constitution here in Thailand. So the rebels started to fight back. And what King Rama V did was he exiled those rebels over to Koh Tao. And here's where they lived for about 10 years. Throughout the 1940s. About 100,000 prisoners were living here on this island here in Koh Tao. All while World War II was happening. And World War II, a lot of the shipping channels changed because of the war. And the shipping routes started to come through around Koh Tao. And a lot of the prisoners, aided by the wardens here at the time, who were also in on the deal, they started to become pirates. Oh. That was close. My God, this ground is getting dangerous. They started to become pirates and get into piracy, and the prisoners would board these ships. At first, they were peaceful. The people on the ships that were passing through, they did not do anything to them. They just grabbed their goods and sold it for a profit. But then eventually, they started to get more and more violent. And the people on the shipping vessels started to become murdered by the prisoners here in Koh Tao. It's getting a little bit, again, more challenging on this little hike. But we'll try not to get close to falling again. My cell phone service is out, so I will have to remember how to get back. But I don't think that'll be a problem. I think there's only one path. I think this is the path. As long as I just follow this, I will get there. After the 1950s, the prisoners on this island were sent back to the mainland. And this island was again uninhabited for another few decades until the 1980s, when people from nearby islands of Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, people from those islands started to come over here in canoes, in coconut canoes, and started to inhabit Koh Tao. And in the late 80s, the first tourists started to come over here, and that's where you get our first restaurants and first dive shops that were started by tourists, or I guess you could say the first expats that came over here and started a business, or the first immigrants. I guess you could say they're immigrants. Came over here starting dive shops and restaurants. And those first dive shops are still in business today. And then now, fast forward to today, Koh Tao is one of the world's best destinations for learning how to scuba dive. Now let's get into the good stuff. Here on Koh Tao, about 25 people have mysteriously died. A lot of them were from murders. People were murdered, they were drowned, they were hung. A lot of mysterious deaths. Most of them happening at night, late at night. Party goers, tourists that are hanging out a little bit too late at night, and for whatever reason, are found dead the next morning. The most recent one was a tourist who had no pre-health conditions, was found dead from cardiac arrest. And people said that he was healthy and there was nothing wrong, and he didn't take any drugs or medicine, wasn't drinking. And the police ruled it as no foul play. And that is quite common with these deaths here. And many believe that the corruption here from the Thai mafia, the Thai mafia is really present here on Koh Tao, people are saying, and they have an influence over the Thai police. And so maybe a lot of these murders are being covered up to protect the island from a decrease in foreign tourism, because the foreign tourism here generates, I would say, 95% or 99% of the income onto this island. So, you can only imagine that the incentive of covering up these murders are quite high. And that's why this island has become nicknamed Death Island or Murder Island. So I think we're getting close to this resort. Through the trees here, I can see the water. I bet it's going to be beautiful over here because nobody is over here. There's no infrastructure, there's no buildings, there's no resorts, there's no hotels. I think it just may be another secret beach. I may have found another secret beach, guys. This is going to be great. So there's a lot of history and there's a lot of things going on here on this little small island in the Gulf of Thailand. Only about 8 square miles of land, or 21 square kilometers of land. It's a very small island, but has such a deep history in such a small period of time. I feel like I'm getting close. Oh my God, wow. What a view. What a view. Wow. We're coming up here on a building. I assume this is it. A few buildings. I think it's like a bungalow. The bungalow resort. Oh wow. I don't even know if that's safe to be walking on. Wow. So you just wake up here. There's your bathroom. How did that rock get into this? And then yeah, you take your bathroom break. You wake up, and here's your. Gee, I want to be careful. I just think these boards are gonna break. And then you get your beautiful view. Wow. That's nice. Looks like there's another one over here. Oh yeah, this one is more broken down. Then you get a nice little dock thing, pier thingy. Or is that a building? Maybe this is like, yeah, I think that's part of the resort. I don't think that's a dock. Let's go see. The only problem here is I don't see any sandy beach, so like, if I'm going to stay at a resort here on the ocean, where am I going to swim? You don't got a sandy beach. I mean, I guess you could swim, but It's not as nice as being on a sandy beach, right? So I guess this was like, yeah, part of the resort. I guess this would have been another bedroom as a bathroom. This would have been another room here. Wow. Wow, look how clear that water is. The water here on this side is a lot clearer. So there's another room. Yeah, this is just all rooms here. Someone left their spray paint bottle here. Somebody really messed up that toilet. And it's kind of a nice resort. It's not bad. It's really hard to get here, I can see. Now, even if there was a road here, definitely not an easy road to drive through. Okay, let's get down there. So I guess this would have been like the more of the lounge area. That probably was like a bar area. Maybe this would have been the reception or toilet. I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's some cabinets there. More cabinetry here. Maybe that would have been reception. There's another bathroom, it looks like. It's a really small resort. Be cool to see what it looked like. Wow. I mean, you got some bottles and stuff over here, but the water's so clean. Holy crap. I think another bungalow. But I think this is the end, the road. It's not a very big resort. There's only those like 2 or 3 bungalows. You had that like, that building with more rooms in it. And then I guess this is another private bungalow. This is like probably the King Suite. The King Suite bungalow. Oh, look. Bench is in good condition. What a beautiful view. I could wake up to that. Oh man. Looks like people were living here maybe. There's like a bunch of blankets. Hopefully I don't run into anyone. Ooh, pillow and a blanket does not look very clean there. Okay. I guess there's your water tank. That's where you get the water from. There's your bathroom. What a beautiful view. It's a shame that this went out of business. I'm sure it would be really nice if it was still around today. All right, so that's Koh Tao for you. A lot of history packed in such a little amount of time here on this island. And also you have cases of unsolved deaths here with just the amount of tourists visiting this island causing a lot of problems. A lot of altercations with locals and also issues with pollution, issues with water shortages, and stress on the infrastructure on just such a small island. But man, is this view so worth it, and I can see why people travel from across the world to see this. Wow.